situation, it's important to eat whenever you can, little and often and often. The view is beautiful.
No, Bear, it really isn't. Maybe the elements have gotten to you. Maybe it's the millipedes you've been eating. Ugh! I think I'd rather starve. This is Man vs. Wild for the Nintendo Wii. Now, if you've been living under a rock, you're actually probably very aware of this show because Bear Grylls probably steps on your house every freaking day. He hosts the popular Discovery Channel program Man vs. Wild, a show I actually thoroughly enjoy. Bear is an adventurer guy who skydives into a remote location and demonstrates survival techniques in the forest. It's actually much cooler than it sounds.
Man, that hurt. This is always a danger when jumping into the unknown. I've got to somehow figure out a way to get out of here.
By the way, Bear Grylls is freaking legit. He's not just some product of the media. He's the youngest chief scout in the history of all things. He's hosted a dinner party at an altitude of 25,000 feet. I mean, the only thing fabricated about Bear Grylls is his name. His name is actually Ed Grylls, which might even sound more badass. So Man vs. Wild is all about surviving. Incidentally, so is being a Wii owner. And so in the spirit of the show upon which this god-awful game is based, we're going to provide the internet's only survival guide for Man vs. Wild for the Nintendo Wii. And the only problem is we aren't going to jump out of a plane to start this, although the thing is, I'd rather jump out of a plane with my torso on fire than play this game. So that doesn't bode well for Man vs. Wild, but instead, we'll start with the loading screen. And the first thing you have to notice to ensure your survival, the second you see Crave Games, just eject the disc immediately. They've published some of the absolute worst Wii games ever, and that's scientifically proven. After you eject the disc, that's it. That's all. You're alive, and you're welcome. In addition to being a crime against humanity, Man vs. Wild is essentially an action game, only without a whole lot of action. You control Bear as he moves through the wilderness, which is strangely linear and low-res, and struggles to survive. You're building shelters from sticks, you're fighting snakes with sticks, you're stabbing fish with sticks, and subsequently, you're breaking your Wii with sticks. I love the idea that just because a game is on the Wii, that means it can get away with looking like a canceled Nintendo 64 game. Now, the Wii is the least powerful of the current generation hardware, but it's capable of a lot more than this. I mean, look at Mario Galaxy, look at Donkey Kong Country Returns, and then look at this, and tell me the hardware's to blame. The poor presentation values are a harbinger of poorness to come. The gameplay is poorly designed and utterly uninteresting, consisting almost entirely of walking from one dot to another through hideous environments only to prompt little mini-games. The basic idea is you have to keep Bear alive while you're doing this, so you have to keep him hydrated, well-fed, and well-rested. You do that by drinking water, eating animals, and sleeping. Now, the idea isn't bad, it actually makes sense given the context of the show, but the execution is just so terrible and boring and... this is ridiculous. Man vs. Wild is a great television show, but it's also low-budget Wii software at its worst. And it's... well, I guess that basically sums it up. Well said, Bear.
Watch the colour of what you're cooking. If it gets too dark, you're burning it. If it's too pink, it isn't cooked enough. Keep turning that spit at an even speed for the best results.